I got an idea. Let's build a dog bed. I'm gonna take this old wine barrel, spin it into a couple dog beds. Some good friends of ours recently got a new puppy for Christmas. It needs a place to sleep. They live kind of up in the mountains, kind of a rustic feel. This barrel came out of Washington State. It's got some really cool barrel markings on it from, I guess, the manufacturer and the winery. So my plan is to make two dog beds. I'm gonna cut the barrel here and here. These two ends will be the dog beds, and the middle, haven't decided what to do with yet, but hopefully that'll come to me as we get into this. It's got a lot of red stains still in it and on the barrel itself, and I think that I will leave those. I'll sand them down a little bit and then get a finish on it, but by leaving the stains and some of the rough markings will help it maintain a rustic feel. Now I'm going to cut my barrel horizontally on this roller setup I made, but you could just as easily cut the barrel vertically as well. And as you can see, it rolls really smooth, so it should make the cutting go a little easier. The rivets on the bands are kind of a nice feature, and I want to make sure that I keep those. So I'm going to roll the barrel a quarter turn and then start to lay out my lines. And here I'm just using a 45-degree angle of a framing square to set my lines for the opening. And then using masking tape to mark out the barrel so I know exactly where I need to cut. This should all start to make sense once I start cutting it. But before I can start cutting, I've got to drill holes in all the bands and secure the bands to the barrel. So I'm going to be drilling holes in the barrel rings at the center of each wood stave. So naturally my first thought was to use drill bits to drill these holes, but after breaking 3 bits I realized this was not the right way. Push too hard, that's what happens. Broke the bit. So after hunting through about 3 toolboxes, I was able to find these self-tapping metal screws, and they helped finish off the job nicely. That is a little easier. Oh, thank God that's over with. There's 180 screws to put in this barrel, minus the little section that we're cutting out. So maybe about 170, but pre-drilling all those holes took about a half hour per side, so full hour just to get all these holes drilled out. Okay, the moment of truth has finally come. Time to cut this barrel open. I'm starting by drilling a 1/2-inch hole into what will become the opening of the dog bed. And here I'm just using my jigsaw and following along the edge of the 3rd steel band to cut this barrel open. Keep in mind, this barrel is 1-inch thick oak, so it will take some time to get through. So please bear with me as I work my way slowly through this barrel. I will be leaving a stave uncut on either end in order to maintain the ability to roll the barrel until most of the cuts are made. Then I'll transfer the barrel to the ground and cut the remaining 2 staves and open this barrel up. Just look how thick that oak is, and the red stain from the red wine that it once held. Man, that's thick oak. Oh, does that ever smell like wine? The whole shop smells like wine now. I'm officially a wino. So as you can see, I've left this stave and this stave, and that keeps the barrel together so I can keep rolling it to cut the other side. Hopefully this should all make sense to you pretty soon. Still weighs about 90 pounds.
And here I'm just cutting the final 2 staves to separate each end from the barrel.
Now that's what I call a nice looking dog bed. Look at the red from the wine. It just soaked into that oak. And once that gets sanded down a little bit and a finish put on there with a cushion, that should be really nice. Okay, got all cleaned up. Got the 2 dog beds up on a table where I can work on them now. And I'm just gonna strip the tape off here and do a little bit of sanding.
And it smells in here like a brewery.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I know the whole shop smells like wine, but I like it. Don't you?
Sure.
Smells like a winery. You do that one, I'll do this one.
Look good.
Thanks. They should look really good when they're finished.
But they stink.
I like the smell. This is the Chateau Marleau workshop. And it just fills the whole place with wine smell.
You gotta love it though.
Yeah.
If you like your wine.
I'm more of a whiskey guy. You think they'll like it?
I think so.
Hope so.
Just the right size for a dog, little dog. They like to be cozy.
Yeah. Okay, you got all the tape off?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna start sanding.
Alright, I'm out of here then.
Okay.
You wear a mask.
No problem.
Better. Enjoy, have fun.
I think it's time to turn on the air cleaner. This place is gonna get filled with dust.
So I'm starting off with a 40 grit sandpaper on my palm sander. The top edge is a little rough and uneven due to cutting it with a jigsaw, but the 40 grit should knock it down so it's pretty flat, and then I'll roll the edges over just a little bit to soften them.
So you can definitely see some of the sugars in the wine that have crystallized in here, but they sand off pretty easy, and then once I get a finish of lacquer on there, that'll all turn really nice, rich burgundy color, and yeah, should be really good.
For the remainder of the barrel, I am just using 150 grit sandpaper on my palm sander, and the main purpose of this is really just to remove the wine stains from the barrel.
It doesn't need a whole lot of sanding. Just lightly sand it. It kind of leaves a lot of the rough markings on there. The bangs and the smashes from being rolled around for the last 3-4 years. And gives it a nice rustic feel.
And finally, I'm just roughing up the metal rings a little bit to help the paint adhere to them. Just a quick vacuum to clean up the sawdust and the sugars that were sanded off, and then we can get to my favorite part, staining. Okay, now to the best part of any woodworking project, the finish. I'm using a stain called Tuscan from Varathane, and here I'm just applying it liberally and letting it soak in for about 15 minutes, and then wiping it off to reveal these amazing tones in this old oak barrel. Now on to staining the rest of the barrel. I'm doing my best to keep it on the wood and off the metal bands.
That what they named that dog?
Bingo.
Bingo, that's his name? Because I was going to do a stencil in the back of this with the dog's name. Bingo it is then. B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh. This is the best part of any project.
What is?
Staining.
Yeah.
You see all these rich colors come out. Except for I wish I had a pair of latex gloves. So I'm not going to be covered in stain, but oh well. Shop ain't complete yet, so don't have my tools here, don't have my gloves here, don't have nothing here. Such is life. Look at that color. That is incredible. I like it a lot. I don't know if I've ever been so excited about staining wood before. Okay, this thing has had several hours to dry now, the stain. Probably should have left it overnight, but I'm kind of impatient. I'm gonna use a flat black on the rings, and I'm gonna spray it without masking. And I don't usually do something like that, but I think it might kind of look cool. No, I don't want it masked. I want it looking that way.
What's it gonna look like?
I don't know.
So how do you know if you want it looking like that, but you don't know what it's gonna
So
look
the
like?
rings are gonna look bigger.
Well, kinda. It could look stupid. I don't know.
I think so.
It might, but I'll do one like this, and if I don't like it, then I'll do the other one by masking it.
Sure.
I think it'll look different. It's all about being different. What could I put it on? I can put it on. I can put it on that pail.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I'll put it on the pail. You guys okay with that? I'll put it on the pail.
Now I know what you're thinking, that looks absolutely brutal. But trust me, wait till the end and you'll see with a simple trick how easy it is to make this actually look good.
Are you leaving it like that?
Say what?
Are you leaving it like that? It doesn't look finished.
Well, maybe you should work your magic on it. You're good at blending stuff in.
I guess so. That looks...
Look what? You don't like it?
No, it looks unfinished.
Well, I was going for a shadow effect.
Yeah, well, that ain't. That's a line effect.
Okay, so you shadow it then. Can you do that?
I think you just need to blend it, smudge it, like
Okay,
haze it.
try
You know.
that.
What's this? What is it?
150.
150?
So what are you going to do? Just blend it?
Well, smooth out the lines.
And the final step was to add a rope pull on either side as a handle. I'm using a 3/4 inch black nylon rope that I'm just going to stick through these 3/4 inch holes and tie a knot on the inside, and that will act as the full handle on both sides. These things still weigh about 25 pounds each, so it'll be nice to have handles on them.
So I think these beds turned out amazing. Super excited to get one delivered up to our friend. I think they'll be so excited when they get it. We were able to find these $20 cushions at Walmart, which kind of finished the beds off. And I gotta give a big shout out to Janine because she blended the black into the barrel really, really nicely. And you know what? She's always been there to fix my problems. Big thumbs up to her. It was a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie. The barrel is, you know, weighed in at 100 pounds and it takes a lot of work to move it around and cut it properly. But anybody can still attempt it if you've got a jigsaw, a cordless drill, and a sander. That's really the only tools we used. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Rob, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.